Welcome back to For Action Takers Only. Tonight I'm interviewing Mark Dong. I've known Mark Dong for about 40 years, maybe a little bit more. We went through elementary, junior high, and high school together. He's always been a go getter. I remember him in a go getter in high school. So I'm going to bring him in here and have him introduce himself. How you doing, Mark? Welcome to For Action Takers Only. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey, Todd, thank you for having me. So, uh, as you've mentioned, we've known each other for a very, very long time. So, I'm a lifetime martial artist. I started training martial arts back when I was, I think, 17, 18 years old. It started back in '89. I guess right before we graduated high school. Um,
All right.
and what really motivated me to start doing martial arts was, uh, you know, the legend, the king himself, Mr. Bruce Lee. It was all his movies. I mean, we still have we still have some of the VHS tapes of some of his movies, like
What
Return
are
of
the
the Return of the Dragon, Fists of Fury, Enter the Dragon, the more popular one.
right?
So it was because of him that I wanted to start training martial arts. And then, as I was training, it's just it just dawned on me, because I was, watching my instructors. They're teaching, they're happy, they're energetic, they loved what they were doing, and also they were living off of owning a school. And I was like, I think I would like to do that someday. I was like, I'd like to do this because when I'm training, I feel happy. And we all know that, whenever you work out, the endorphins kick in, the feel good vibes. And that's
Yeah.
how it was for me with martial arts. It's like, every time after training, we're just sitting there on the bench. It's just like, that was a good day. Yeah, I got beat up. I got punched in the face a little bit, but yeah, it was fun. So, I just like, I think I want to venture into this. So, of course, it didn't quite start off that way. I mean, growing up, we went through, um, all the fun stuff of, trying to start a business and everything. But I started off doing engineering. So I came back to that. I'm a graduate of ITT Tech. I know,
Okay.
yep. Back in the day, people were making fun of ITT Tech and everything, but ITT Tech, they helped me get my foot in the door into a civil engineering firm. Halfway through the program, I was already hired by an engineering firm. And after graduation, I graduated first in my class and everything. And then just raising the funds and stuff like that, saving up for that. And that's what really got me the necessary funds I needed to start my own school. I started the school with only 10 grand,
Okay.
just 10 grand.
So,
That was it.
so what really pushed you in that direction? You started doing engineering, but what pushed you and say, "Hey, I'm going to go ahead and start my own school. I'm going to go ahead and pursue this dream that I had when I was younger, seeing the Bruce Lee." What pushed you in that direction?
Well, growing up after high school and everything, I waited tables and it's like, I didn't want to do this anymore. And then, I got me and my wife, we got married and it's like, okay, well, shoot, now I got a wife to support. Let me go to school. So I started doing ITT Tech, uh, got a associates in drafting, got a job, and then it's like, okay, I'm making some money, and now it's like, okay, let me go back and revisit that, of me wanting to own a business, and I've done martial arts, I'm pretty good at it, I think, I was a good instructor. I was one of the assistant coaches for the Southwest Texas State karate team,
Oh, wow.
and I was like, I think I can do something with this, so let me try it. So then in the engineering field, I was in it for like 15 years, hated it. Yes, it was good money, very good money, but I just didn't like sitting in the cube. That's just not me.
Right.
I like to get out, move around, work out, train. I got to be moving. I can't be sitting in the computer, no.
You're one of
And
those active individuals.
yes, yes, and then I saw people around me in the engineering field getting heart attacks. There was one project manager I was working with. He plopped,
Mm-hmm.
heart stop, and he was 53 years old, just a little older than what you and I are right now.
Yep.
So that's like, that was another eye-opening instance, is that, I want to be able to open up a school, a martial arts school. And this way I can help people with their fitness as well as learn how to defend themselves at the same time.
Right. So when did this open? When did you open your first school?
So when I was going through this process of owning my school, I was teaching at one of my friend's schools here in Katy, and he was my first Krav Maga instructor. And he got, I guess, like a location set up out in Bel Air, like the city of Bel Air,
Uh-huh.
right there at what's that, Beach Nut and 610. It was like a gym.
Okay.
So he had me start there, but I was operating under his school name, his banner, and all that. But I was kind of operating it as my own. And then I just figured, it's like, okay, as much as I'm paying the gym the rent, it's like, I could open up my own location and start there. And that's what I did. So I just started opening up my own location. My first location was right there off of Bel Air and Beltway 8. It was in Chinatown.
All right.
And gorgeous facility. It was upstairs. It used to be I think, a hot yoga place.
Okay.
So all open. It was about 2,500 square feet, I believe. And it had showers, bathroom, the bathrooms are gorgeous and everything. Had a little space area where I could store stuff, a big storage space where I could put bags, weights, kettlebells, eventually barbells and stuff like that, because eventually I started a CrossFit gym within that school. But yeah, that was the first location.
Cool. And how did it go from there?
So it started doing well. So we were doing real well, and we were about 30 or 40 students. And then it's like, I want to move somewhere else because I want to try to get off of the second floor. Because again, we were a CrossFit gym. And, in CrossFit, when we lift, a lot of times they like to drop the weights. We couldn't do that on the second floor.
Okay.
So I wanted to find a different place. And then I moved to Derry Ashford. And Derry Ashford, right across the street from the old Derry Ashford roller rink, which is still there and operating, by the way. So I was across the street from that, in that strip center that has been remodeled, because I think years ago, there was a bad fire there on one of the ends. And I think they remodeled the strip center. They repaved the parking lot, so it's a gorgeous facility now. And that's where I was. Yeah, and that's probably my best location that I've had.
All right. So when things got tough, businesses get tough to run. We all know that. So when things got tough, what kept you going? What pushed you through the hard times?
So that's the next step. So the Derry Ashford location, we were doing real well, right? So I had 85 students. I was trending towards 100. And then this guy named Harvey decided to come and, just sit on top of Houston and, flood out everybody. So, yeah. So that next week, I was supposed to have like 10 people try out the class. But then, as we all know, Harvey had other plans. So I went from 85 students down to 20 students in less than a week.
Ooh.
Yeah, was right. Was right. And I tried talking to my landlord, because now I couldn't pay the rent. It was hard to pay the rent.
Right.
You're talking about $4,000 for rent, and here I am with right at 20 students. It's like it's not happening. But I was very blessed and fortunate that my landlord was very understanding, and we try to do different types of payment plans. little now, and then a little bit more later, and then you'll see how we can, get you back up to the regular rate, you know. So we did that for about a year, and then I just told him, it's like, look, man, I can't do this anymore. It's, everyone's still flooded. Everyone's still trying to make repairs to their house because all my students are right there at ground zero of all the flooding. And so it was tough. So I unfortunately had to close that place. And then I moved to another gym down the street, which is off of Memorial and Dairy Ashford. And I rented up a small little space up there. And, I grew back up to 30 students. Then COVID hits.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask that too. How did you get through COVID?
So COVID comes in and shuts everything down. It's funny because right before everything was shut down, Maria Salazar from Fox 26 at the time, she was one of my private lesson students, by the way.
Cool.
She interviewed me before the shutdown, and she was asking me, what am I doing to try to stay afloat? And I said, I'm already putting videos up on YouTube for people to watch, and still get their lessons in. I was posting workout videos for my boot camp class. I was doing kickboxing, a kickboxing lesson plan. So this way they can do it at home. And then like a 10-minute lesson, Krav Maga lesson. So this way they can learn some Krav Maga. Of course, it's kind of hard to do without a partner.
Mm-hmm.
So we try to do all that. I say, okay, grab a pillow or something like that and pretend that's a person or something. And then next thing you know, everybody's on Zoom, everybody's doing classes online, everybody's doing that. And it's like, dang it, that must have been because of me, because I was talking stuff on YouTube and stuff like that. Now everybody is up on this thing called Zoom. So for a little bit that kept me going, but then nobody was coming into the schools. And then everybody, once the restrictions eased up, I still wasn't getting people to come back. People were wanting to buy my bags. And then when they bought the bags, they definitely didn't come back because, well, now you're doing it on Zoom. I can just do it at home. I don't need to come in anymore.
Right.
So, eventually I couldn't maintain that gym space anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just decided to go mobile. So, I have a little pickup truck to where I can just, load up the gear, whatever shields, focus mitts, kicking bags or whatever. I got mats that I can fit in my truck and take it somewhere. So I started doing the mobile self-defense, going to people's houses, going to people's homes, and being able to train them there, whatever it is they wanted. If they want a kickboxing, I'll give them a kickboxing workout. I got the pads, if they want a Krav Maga class, I can go there. I can be there. I can be the bad guy and they can train this way. Or, if they want more like a fitness class or something like that, I can load up the truck with some dumbbells, barbells, or whatever. Whatever it is they wanted to still maintain their fitness or their training while this shutdown was in place. So that was pretty much what got me over. And then now I'm starting to recover, trying to get back into it. So
you got another place open, or are you still doing mobile?
So I do both. Right now, I'm teaching inside of Church of the Holy Apostles.
Okay.
That's that church that's right there off of 99 between Kingsland and Highland Knolls.
All right.
So I'm teaching there Monday through Thursdays in the evenings. And one thing that's also been really, really good for me as of late is that I'm doing a lot of realtor self-defense classes.
Okay.
I just became a licensed CE provider for the Texas Real Estate Commission. So CE is continuing education credits. So I can do continuing education credits for realtors because they need a certain amount. So this way they can renew their license. I think it's every 2 years they have to renew their license, and they need a certain amount of CEs.
Okay.
So like yesterday, so Thursday I taught one, Friday I taught another. And Thursday, I think there was like 20 realtors. yesterday's we had over 30. We had 31, I believe, yesterday.
Cool, very cool.
So
it's
that's been a lot.
Well, that's good. So yeah, I was going to ask you. You're teaching. I remember you saying something about teaching realtors. So what are your goals? What are your goals within the next, say, 3 to 5 years? Where do you see yourself in 3 to 5 years?
So going back on that childhood dream of owning my own place.
Right.
Notice I said owning.
Yes.
So not renting, owning.
Owning.
So this has been something I've been wanting to do. I got some sticks in the fire right now that I'm trying to get all my ducks in a row to be able to get to that point. And the idea is to either do what's it called, a lease to own, a rent to own, or just save up a lot more money and buy a piece of land and build like maybe a 5,000 square foot facility.
All right. Well, hold on a second. I got something to talk to, because this is what I've been learning about Subject 2. Have you ever heard of Subject 2?
Nope.
Okay. It's about purchasing things subject to the existing payment agreement, I guess. So it's like you're looking to take over payments. I would like to talk to you more about that. This might help you out, find you a place and be able to do it without having to save up a bunch of money. This is something that I got into. This is what got me motivated to take action. It's a group called Sub 2, and it's all about buying. It started out just real estate. Now they're starting to go into buying businesses subject to and all of that. So it's very interesting. I would say look up Pace Morby on YouTube and check him out, and that'll lead you. Also look up Alex Hormozy, or I don't know if you ever heard of him. Actually, I got a book. I got a book for you. I'm going to give it to you. It's called 100 Million Leads, I think. So that's going to be a gift for coming on my show. So got a book for you. I'll have to hook up with you and give you the book. But tell us about your business. Give us your number. How do people contact you if they want to start taking lessons?
So my school, Dragon's Den Self-Defense Academy, right now we offer kids classes. We start at age 8 all the way up. And we offer classes in Krav Maga, cardio kickboxing. We do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which is pretty much our main focus. And I also do firearm safety training classes. I do LTC classes, pistol safety classes. Right. And if they want to get in contact me, they can call my number. It's 281-818-2035, or they can email me at info@dragonsdensda.com.
All right, I'll put that in the links when we post the video, so that'll all be there. Your number and your info at dragonsdensda.com, so they can get a hold of you. And Mark, I appreciate your time. I appreciate you coming on here. I'm going to have you on again. I'm just doing short interviews at this starting out. I'm just a newbie at this. So as we get going, though, I'm going to have you on again. We'll do a much longer in depth and go more too. But man, it's good talking to you. Good seeing you. I'm going to shut it down for right now. We've crossed over the 15-minute, but I'll keep you in the background here and we'll keep talking in just a minute.
All right, cool.
Thank you, Mark.
Thanks.